Hi, and welcome to Author Uncut. I'm your host and author, Patrice Williams Marks. If you enjoy my podcast, I'd be so grateful if you spread the word by leaving a rating and a review. Author Uncut can be found wherever you enjoy listening to your podcast. This is part 5 of my 5-part series on crowdfunding. Everyone knows that in order for your crowdfunding campaign to become fully funded, you need backers, supporters, who believe in you and your product. But where do you find these backers, other than your mother, that is? As someone who has been immersed within the crowdfunding game since 2012, I've watched it evolve into a viable form of fundraising, but only for those who know what they're doing. Most successful campaigns have been able to tap into the Superbackers community. If you're on Reddit, you may have come across a private subreddit called Superbackers. One crowdfunder asked how he can get into that group and promote his campaign. He received only 2 responses. The first one was, "I cannot confirm or deny being a member. I'd suggest backing 25 plus to become a member." The second response was, "The first rule of Superbackers is you do not talk about Superbackers. The second rule of Superbackers is you do not talk about Superbackers." End quote. So what's with all the secrecy? Well, with this particular subreddit, in order to be considered as a member, you have to have backed at least 25 crowdfunding projects. That's a way of weeding out the wannabes, the curious, or just plain lazy freeloaders who want a speedy route to riches without the effort. But that group is not your only option. There are thousands of superbackers who are willing to review campaigns from people they don't even know. However, there's no guarantee that yours will be selected. You know, back in 2012, when Kickstarter was a new idea, there was a video game called Star Citizen, which sort of pioneered the idea of superbackers. Its backers willingly handed over $110 million through pledges, subscriptions, in-app purchases of virtual spaceships. Now, some of their backers put in thousands, and some of them even put in tens of thousands. Why? And who are these people? Backers have a choice where to jump into the game. The more money you paid up front, the higher level you would start at. Once inside the game, in order to fill your hangar with more ships, meant more purchases. There was also subscriptions and live events and conferences for you to throw your money at. So you start with a relatively small sum, which is actually just the beginning if you want to unlock higher levels, more ships, etc. To read more about Star Citizen and how they did this, I've included a link in the show notes. So, how does the average campaign creator tap into people who are considered to be superbackers, who are willing to hand over hard-earned cash? Well, there's several ways, but one caveat I must add: no matter how many superbackers you get access to, if you or your campaign is not top-notch, you're dead in the water. No one is going to back a sloppy, ill-prepared, or unrealistic campaign, period. First off, you're not getting access to the Reddit subbackers group unless you have supported over 25 campaigns yourself, and even then they are selective in who is admitted to the group. But let's say you have helped your fellow entrepreneurs and you get admitted. You can't simply post your project. You have to give to the community before you can receive. In fact, you have to, again, support other campaigns before you can even mention yours. Now, that particular group is better suited for those who are investors first and foremost, not someone looking to be invested in. But you're looking for superbackers to invest in you, right? Now, here are a few legit places you can go. Yes, They cost money. If you're not willing to invest in your campaign, why should anyone else? By the way, I'm not affiliated and have never worked with any of these resources. I'm just providing you with information for you to take and do research on your own. The first place you can start is backerclub.co. I've provided their link in the show notes. You can join as a backer or creator or both. As a creator, you can tell them how many campaigns you have backed and the types of campaigns that interest you. You'll then receive an email with vetted campaigns for you to consider backing. It's that simple. As a creator, you'll submit your campaign and complete a profile and pay a fee. Apparently, if your campaign is not fully funded, Backer Club refunds your fee. Now that's pretty amazing. But with that said, with the kind of guarantee that they're offering, they probably don't accept all campaigns, only those they believe will be successful. That's just my opinion. There's another Superbackers Club called, what else? Superbackers. You can find them at superbackers.co. I've added their link in the show notes. This one is similar to Backer Club, but with a few differences. Backers opt in to receive emails also, but on sign up, they have to provide links to their Kickstarter and or Indiegogo profiles, or both. Profiles indicate how many campaigns you have backed and or ran yourself. If you only list a Kickstarter profile link, then you will only have access to those campaigns. Now, as a backer on this site, the creators have agreed to give something special to the backers, which usually means a free upgrade or a partial refund of their donation once the project is fully funded. Creators also go through a rigorous setup and have to supply detailed personal information along with paying a fee in order to be accepted. It may seem intrusive to some creators, but having all the personal details keeps creators honest and they're less likely to try to pull off a scam. Both these sites, Backer Club and Superbackers, work hard to protect their investors and their creators. Both are viable options. Another way to tap into the Superbacker community is through purchasing a backer list. Crowdster, now that's spelled with a K, has such a service. I've also included their link in the show notes. You can filter Superbackers down to your project niche. That's very important. Prices start at $99 a month. And from what I'm told, although they have a list of over 3.5 million people as backers, the information is kept up to date. But there is a catch here. No backer wants to be inundated with massive emails. So, Crowdster does not provide emails on these backers. They provide social media profiles and or website. So, you'll have to do your own footwork in order to get their emails and contact them. So, there's still a little work there. The final way I'll be covering today to find actual Superbackers is through a service called Green Inbox. They are found at greeninbox.com. Now, there's a link also in the show notes. This is a premium service, and it's a bit different than the others I've mentioned. It's an advertising service that uses Facebook ads. Green Inbox's targeted advertising option has them create a Facebook advertisement for your particular campaign, which targets only individuals who have backed more than 50 campaigns on Kickstarter. Now that's laser focus. But again, there's a catch. And it's a biggie. Your ad budget has to be a minimum of $50,000. Ouch. They've helped creators raise well over $1 million in 72 hours. But lordy, $50K? There you have it. 4 legit ways to tap into several Superbacker communities. And I'd like to offer one more piece of advice. Don't just be a creator and a taker. Become a backer first. Find campaigns to support and watch the progress before you ask others to back yours. So, are you a Superbacker? How did you get started? How do you select projects to support? Let me know. Visit my Anchor.fm page, link is in the show notes, and click on the button Send Voice Message to leave me a voicemail. I may just use it in a future podcast. Join me next time when I discuss combining genres in screenplays and novels. Remember the film Cowboys and Aliens? They're called genre hybrids and genre blending, and I'll share with you why they're so successful. Again, if you enjoyed this podcast, I'd be so grateful if you spread the word by leaving a rating and a review. It really does help other listeners find me. And don't forget to tell your family and friends. Author Uncut can be found on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and wherever you enjoy listening. Want to suggest a show episode or get in touch? Visit me at authoruncut.com or send me an email at mailbag@patricewilliamsmarks.com. And finally, to join our email list, go to authoruncut.com. Until next time, write on.